Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for part 4 of the Monday Q&A, so let's get it done. First question. Do you agree with Mark Rippetoe that the power clean is a fundamental lift that all strength-oriented athletes, not prospective bodybuilders, should use? Are strength trainees selling themselves short by not using it, or the power snatch? This really comes down to individual sports. I don't really use the power clean. I've considered working it back in, but my training volume and workload doesn't always allow for it. And I use things like the Pendlay row to get most of the benefits with it, with the amount of squatting and pulling I do. But if I were training a field athlete, or my goal was to be a field athlete, say football, and I mean either type of football, rugby, maybe even basketball, anything to where I need power and speed and explosiveness on a playing field, the power clean would not be optional. There is no way I would let an American football player, rugby player, or an MMA guy who wants to be seriously competitive skip out on the power clean. Now, some powerlifters and strongmen can avoid it depending on what the structure of their program looks like, but it just depends on what you're trying to do. People who need full body explosiveness in a contact sport, though, it shouldn't be an optional lift at all. And in fact, it might want to be the lift that you put the most effort in at certain times of the year. All right, next question. Hey Jason, I'm currently doing starting strength, but I have a terrible posture. More specifically, rounded shoulders. Will let's sort this out. Do you think I should add in some back work or something entirely different? If it's really a problem for you, what you may want to do is get your computer set up in a way that's more ergonomic. Like if you work at a desk job or you're at your office computer, you're a student, you spend a lot of time sitting down at a desk, you need to look at the ergonomics of your chair, where your screen is on your computer, get the screen higher up, so that you can help with some of that. And then the other thing I would look at is, even for your lifting, I would start doing a lot more face pulls so that you can just build up that whole upper shoulder area. And or the rear side, back of the shoulders, all of that, you can build all of that up and strengthen it in your upper back with something that's not going to tax you very much beyond what the main program does. So a lot of face pulls, look at the ergonomics of your work environment. And that's something you'll need to focus on. All right, next question. What's your experience with the reverse grip bench press? I love the reverse grip bench press. I think it's a dangerous as hell exercise, and I think if you rely on spotters instead of steel bars to stop the weight from hitting you, that you basically have a death wish and you're a dumbass. But as far as using it as an effective strength building tool, size building tool, the reverse bench press is amazing. In fact, I would say the meat it can put on your triceps is amazing. You guys have looked at older pictures of me that you've seen floating around the web. You guys will notice that my triceps were pretty massive at one point. A hell of a lot bigger than they are now. That's when I was doing a lot of reverse grip bench pressing. It really brought my triceps up a lot. And I used to do 500 pounds on that lift. So again, one of those lifts that I think is a massively useful exercise, fantastic exercise, but I think it is very dangerous. And if you're not very careful with the way you set up your safeties on it, that you're really asking for trouble. And if you cannot do it inside of a power rack or some competition type bench that has safeties to catch the weight and you're relying on spotters, I really don't think you should be doing it. Alright guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time in part 5.